Hi guys, in the past few days there has been a lot of controversy with regards to Zav Girl sharing autopsy photos of 11-year-old Gannon Stalk. She obtained these photos through official sources and she decided to post them on her Patreon account under the $3 tier. For those of you who don't know yet, Gannon was murdered in cold blood by his stepmother Letitia Stouch, who has recently been convicted to life in prison for her crimes. I want to address this whole situation, and you will see Zav Girl's apology video, which she posted a few hours ago, and you will also listen to a recording of her talking about how she really feels with regards to this whole backlash. Let's first listen to what she had to say in her apology.
Hi everyone. If you're listening to this, then you likely know about the last few days. I want to apologize to everyone I've hurt, but especially Cannon's family. I've been doing some major soul searching and reflecting. There are many trying to define my motivations, and while I'm not looking for forgiveness or trying to make excuses, I do hope to provide additional context that has not been made clear. I have followed the Letitia Stout case closely, and it was actually during the trial that I made the official records request. And it was in El Paso County, Colorado. I requested all the video, audio, and written records. I made no request for autopsy photos. I wanted all the trial records, but my main interests were interviews with Letitia. The autopsy photos just happened to be in the files.
So she requested every available video, audio, and written info. She did not ask for the autopsy photos, they just happened to be in the files. If photos were shown during the trial, there was a purpose for that action. The jury had to understand very well what Gannon went through. They needed to see the full extent of his injuries to determine if Letitia deserved a life in prison sentence.
I spent time reviewing what I received so I could provide more info from the trial. I believe many of my images were already shown during the televised trial, and I saw the photos on other public YouTube channels that live streamed the trial and shared the evidence. I didn't think any of the images were new. These photos were already public, although the video I put together with the coroner's voice was my own creation.
The argument that others also shared pictures online of Gannon's autopsy does not stand. First of all, let me make this clear, I haven't seen any photos and I don't want to see them either. I'm sure, however, that if there were certain photos online, it was not all of them. In order to get that package of documentation she is talking about, you need to pay around $400. Also, if those photos would have been available already for the public, why would others pay to see them on Zav's Patreon? It really doesn't make any sense, and it sounds a lot like she's trying to excuse her actions by saying others did it too. That's not how it works, Zav.
I chose to put the video on Patreon because of the sensitive nature of the evidence. Putting the evidence behind a paywall meant added security, and I naively thought they wouldn't be made public.
Seriously? Added security under the $3 tier? Really? Also, if they were already public, why the need to add security? What are you talking about, girl?
The video I created with a voice from the coroner wasn't meant to be shared outside of Patreon, and I chose not to put the photos on YouTube, a public forum, where the views would have allowed me to make more money, and the photos would be seen by more people.
No. You chose to upload the photos on Patreon because on YouTube, such images would have completely demonetized your video and you wouldn't have made any money. Guys, when I create videos that cover very sensitive topics, they don't get the okay from YouTube for placing ads on them. And I'm talking here about words that are not advertiser friendly, so they trigger a warning to the algorithm, which in turn does not allow me to turn on monetization for said video. For graphic photos, a video can even be taken down, and it most certainly won't make any money. So that's the reason you chose Patreon in this scenario, Zav.
Because the video was placed behind a paywall, rumors about the images not being blurred or being different than what was shown in trial started to surface. No photos showed. I have made no jokes about the photos. I don't even cuss on my channel, and I would never allow derogatory remarks about a victim. I realized my intentions were not communicated well. My channel style is sort of me hanging out with friends and speaking off the cuff, and I did not articulate my reasons or think my decision through. At this time, my Patreon website has been shut down.
Yes, Patreon decided to shut down her account, and I think this happened less than 24 hours ago. Keep in mind that the backlash started 4 days ago, and Zav didn't take down the pictures even though she was asked many, many times to do so. She doubled down on the attention she got in the media for her actions and kept the photos up to make as much money as possible. Oh, Jules of all trades shared in one of her videos that at one point there were 266 people that paid the $3 to view the autopsy photos of Gannon. That's about $798 Zav made off of those images. The parents of the little boy were heartbroken to see their son's injuries online. Zav, was it worth it to you causing so much pain for $800?
I'm not sharing any of the photos or video anywhere, although you can see the photos published on other popular channels. Nothing you see is from me, nor will ever be. To those who have supported me and followed my channel, and to the true crime community, I'm sorry I let you down.
Oh, you didn't let anyone down, girl. You are downplaying it. You hurt people. You caused emotional pain. Can you understand that with your psychology degree?
I cannot imagine the pain Gannon's family has gone through. My anger over what happened to Gannon is the reason I started following the case.
Can we address why you are reading this statement? You can talk about murder cases, murder victims, you can describe horrible things that happened to them, yet you need a script for an apology video? Really?
I'm not this evil, heartless person like many are saying, but I'm also doing a lot of self-reflecting, and I'm looking into sensitivity training.
Sensitivity training. This is not some gray area in which you need to be highly trained to anticipate the damage that can be done. This was common sense.
I did not want to add to the family's loss with anything I said or shared about this case. And it will be a long time before I ever trust myself or my decisions again.
You just wanted the money.
To Gannon's family, I have no words that can make this better. No one should have to ever go through what you guys have been through.
You just wanted the money.
I am so very sorry for any pain that I have caused you.
I try to refrain from giving my opinion in all of my videos, and there are very few instances in which I decide to share how I really feel. This apology video is worthless. It feels like it was done because people were expecting it, and it also feels like it was done without her understanding exactly why people are so upset about what she did. It feels like the apology came only after she started to see her audience turning on her, after Patreon closed her account, after she started being afraid she was going to be cancelled. Let's listen to a recording of her talking about how she really feels about this whole situation.
That wanted to see all those pictures, autopsy and stuff. Like I said, it's not going to be on YouTube because I'm too afraid that it's against policy. And so yeah, I'm not going to take a chance. But yeah, so just go ahead and it's Patreon. I think it's like $3 for the lowest tier. You can just cancel after, you can just do it 1 month and be done, you know?
So she said, to me it's not gross, it's science. You are not a doctor, you are not a coroner, and you are not a scientist. You, like many of us, are a YouTuber talking about crime cases. I have no issue with talking about cases, describing what happened, showing pictures of the victims and of the criminals to give the audience an image of who we are talking about specifically. Pictures from when these people were alive, not after their bodies suffered injuries. That is disrespectful. It's maybe somewhat acceptable to share pictures of the bodies in very old cases when you know the families will not see those, but even in those situations, there has to be a limit. An 11-year-old autopsy pictures from a case that is so recent, in which the parents adamantly expressed how they felt about such intimate images being shared online, that without question is a horrible thing to do. Most of my videos are about death row inmates and the crimes they committed. The amount of times that I came across graphic images of the victims, graphic images of the crime scene, I can't share them. I just can't. I would like to see them, but that's impossible. What good would it do to add them in my videos? Who would this help? Zav and others like her say this helps people understand the gravity of the crime. But does the audience really need to understand in such detail? Isn't it enough to verbally describe the injuries? I think that's more than enough to raise awareness, to paint a picture of how dangerous some people can be. And it is enough to make someone aware of their surroundings if they ever find themselves in a potentially dangerous situation. There are times in which I don't even share every single detail of the crimes, because not everything needs to be said. There is no purpose in doing that other than satisfy some disturbed people's morbid curiosity. And that's not what the true crime community is about, or at least it shouldn't be that. I have a 9 to 5 job in which I don't feel like I'm changing anyone's life for the better. I just get a paycheck. With this channel, I dream to one day have the possibility of raising money for causes I believe in. I want to be able to help organizations that deal with missing kids cases, especially Native American people. Of course, I want this channel to become my full-time job and to make a living off of this, but this can be done without causing additional pain to people who are grieving. At almost 100,000 subscribers, Zav, you are making enough. And I know that you will never admit this publicly, but the only reason you posted these pictures on your Patreon was for the money. And the backlash you are getting from the true crime community, that's because all of us are trying to not cross any lines, and you didn't just cross a line, you were defending yourself and you are not taking any real responsibility. All of us make mistakes, all the time. Let's just be adults and admit when we are wrong. There were so many cases in which the families of the victims reached out to large YouTubers who posted videos about their loved ones. And these families did not want that information circulating online. They just asked the said YouTuber to take down the video. And they did. No questions asked. They just did that. Why couldn't you do the same? If you would have taken down the pictures as soon as you realized that people were not happy with your actions, maybe this wouldn't have made the news. And maybe they wouldn't have reached Gannon's parents and you would have spared them the suffering. If you would have posted a genuine apology, not a scripted, empty one, you could have made things better. And you had so many chances to make things better, yet you chose to keep the pictures up so that you can make the most amount of money possible. I'm asking you again, was the $800 profit that you made off of an 11-year-old autopsy photos life-changing for you? Did it change your life for the better? Did you feel like you influenced someone in a good way? And do you really believe that the people who decided to pay to see those photos learned something from them? What? If yes, what did they learn? How can you not see how disrespectful this is towards Gannon's parents? And more importantly, how can you not understand how disrespectful this is to Gannon? He was an 11-year-old boy. He was a child, a kid. Can you just own up to your mistakes? Just do that, but for real this time, not by scripting an apology. I know you must be feeling very bad right now, Zav, but the question is, do you feel bad because you got caught or because you actually understand that what you did was wrong? Do you feel bad that you shared such intimate photos of a child, or do you feel bad that Patreon took down your account and the money stopped? Yeah. Thank you all for being here, listening to what I had to say on the topic. I'll see you all next Monday with a new video on death row.